welcome to The Bright Side. We're so excited to have you here today, where we feature amazing influencers who are making such a positive difference in our world today. I am so blessed and excited to have author and amazing influencer today, Martha Karelius. Hi, Martha.
Hi, how are you, Kristin?
Good, how are you?
Everything's wonderful today.
Oh, good, good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk to you about Martha. I met Martha on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
She has a daily, I'm sorry, I'm improved. Is it?
You improved.
You improved. And it's a daily dose of motivation and inspiration. So it is amazing. And so every day she gets on and, tell us about it.
Well, so in the morning, before I get up over my cup of coffee, I go to the book that I've written called You Improved, A Daily Dose of Inspiration, coincidentally. And every day is dedicated to just one small idea, one small way to make your life a little better, a little brighter, a little more inspired. And I design an image, so something visual for you, just a sweet little something to remind you of what it is we're talking about. And then I write 3 or 4 sentences just to give you a little wind beneath your wings for the day, just something to think about, talk about. And I started it last July, and we have about 1,300 people now that are checking in every day for their daily dose. So it's very fun.
It's so inspirational. Sometimes I can't watch it first thing before I get going, but I should, because I always feel so much more inspired by my day, and just, it's just a refocusing, and a shifting of, where you're at. And I really, really enjoy it. Oh my gosh, Martha, you need to talk to us about where, okay, so before we get into your book, where do you live and what is your background? And give us.
I'm currently living in La Quinta with my husband. We love the quiet life, the great views, the age appropriateness of it all. It's just a nice place to be, to relax. Love it out here. But prior to that, I raised my children in Southern California, in Orange County. I sold real estate there for over 40 years, owned a company, ran companies, did the corporate, I really was completely immersed in all things real estate. We still own a real estate company today, but it's cloud-based. So we don't have to go to an office. We have agents that just, work from home. So it keeps us relevant, still selling, to friends and family, which is nice after all that time. So that's my background. I raised 3 children, met my husband in 2009. He has 2 children. And so between us, we have lots of grandkids. Somebody's having a birthday all the time.
Oh.
So it's a fun, close-knit family.
Oh, that's so nice. And do they live close by, your family?
They do. We have, John's kids are in La Quinta with the grandkids. One of my sons and his daughter moved out here a little over a year ago. And my youngest daughter and her husband and baby and one on the way are planning to move as soon as they are off furlough and back in action.
Oh, that's so great. Oh, that's so nice. Family is so, it's just so rich, and it's such a blessing. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I was talking to you about where you had lived, and we were close by. I'm sure we ran into it in a small portion of my life. I was in her area, and I'm sure we saw each other at some store, Target or something.
6 degrees of separation somehow, right?
It is. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so happy that I got drawn to your Facebook daily dose of inspiration, because it has been just a daily dose of inspiration, and we all need that, especially during this time. So talk to me about how you moved. You had a great career, and I know that you talk about balancing. That's so hard for a lot of people to balance, and then you moved from real estate to writing. So tell us that story.
Well, back to a balanced life. I am a big proponent of a balanced life. I have not always practiced that. And so most everything that I preach, I'm not preaching because I think I'm better. I'm preaching because I've made that mistake. I've gone down that road and I've learned. And so what I try to do is say, hey, don't do what I did, do what I learned from what I did. And so real estate, it's more dealing with people than anything. And I always really liked that aspect. when someone tells me they go into real estate because they like looking at houses, I think, ugh, I hate looking at houses. I like dealing with the people. I mean, and solving the problems and finding the solutions that allow them to buy the house of their dreams, or sell a house that they need to have sold. So that's that. I'm a huge reader. Ever since I was a kid, I've had my nose in a book. And so kind of going along with reading is writing, I think. And so I tried my hand at it, and my first book was pretty terrible. I listened to really amazing authors who say, don't read my early works, they aren't really any good. And I think, oh, that can't be. But then if you do find their early works, it does make you feel good that they have improved over the years too. Mm-hmm. So when I first left the corporate side of real estate and started to really purposely slow down my life, I took the time to write a book called A Better Version of You. And that one is really, we all have an idea of what we want to be in life. We just don't know how to get there. So that book is kind of like, how do you get from where you are to where you want to be? And that was fun. I had fun writing that. And then this one came about. We discussed how this one came about, but it was really making good on a bargain I made with God. And I had to write the book to make a difference. That was make a difference in people's lives every day was the promise that I made.
Oh, I know. And that was such an amazing story. Do you want to share that with our audience?
Sure, I'm happy to. So they know that miracles happen. So in 2011, I was diagnosed with a very rare, very deadly form of cancer called leiomyosarcoma. I fought it for that year. I had a few surgeries, I had chemotherapy, and I came out at the end of the year in good shape. And within a few months, I wasn't in good shape anymore. And it was recommended to my husband and I that we go home and get our affairs in order. That proverbial thing that you hear doctors say, well, they actually do say it, as it turns out. Yeah. And so I was pretty discouraged, and we sold properties. We definitely simplified our life. And with the idea that however much time I had, we were going to enjoy every minute of it and not worry about anything. And then all of a sudden one day I thought, well, heck, maybe I'm not going to die. It wasn't necessarily a death sentence. So I had a little conversation with God where I said, I'm really happy to spend eternity with you. But eternity is eternity after all. And if you just take 20 years out of that and give me that on earth, it won't make any difference to you in eternity, but I can make a difference on earth. And if you will do that for me, I will make a difference every day. That was my promise. And then I had a CAT scan and a PET scan that was going to determine how soon they could start the next chemotherapy. And it came out completely clean. In fact, usually my PET scans were several pages long with all the tumors and things noted. This one at the top said the abdomen is resolved of leiomyosarcoma. And I said to the doctor, I don't even know what that means. It was such a shock. So all of a sudden one day I had to come up with how I was going to make a difference every day because I could not renege on my side of the bargain. And so I tried some different things, some mentoring, some coaching, but it was kind of one-on-one, and I needed to find a way to get to more people. So that's when I came up with the idea of the book, that if there was something to lift people up every day, just in a little way, and I could get that to a lot of people, then I felt like that was doing my part. So it took 2 years to write it. It was quite an undertaking.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Because if you think about it, I'd come up with the idea and then I would write it. And it's easy to write, 600-700 words to get an idea across. It's more difficult for me anyway to distill that into 300 words because I thought, well, if I have it go more than one page, the book is going to be not 366 pages. It's going to be, 700 pages. And that's a tome. And nobody's going to hold that up in bed in the morning with their coffee. And nobody has time to read 2 pages, but you can read 300 words. I felt like people could do that. So I'd start writing down all the ideas of different inspirational things I could talk about. I found quotes. I had people sending them to me. I'd talk to somebody in the grocery store and they say, oh, you should write about, and I'd write that down. And so pretty soon I had 50 pages and I thought, oh, 50 is kind of a lot. And I thought, but it's not even close to 365. Then I got to 100 and I thought, oh, I don't know if I can come up with anything else, but I still had 265 to come up with. So I had to make a goal with a deadline and say, if it's going to be out by Christmas of 2018, I think the year was, then I have to have it to editing by this date. I have to have it to here by this date. that means I have to have this many pages done every month. And that's exactly what I did. I worked it backwards from the goal, which is one of the pages, and I started speeding it up. So in the morning in bed, I would bring my computer in and search ideas and fill a page with just a random ideas. Then I'd spend the morning writing it, and then I'd have lunch with my husband, and then I would polish it up and take it to my mother, who was in her 90s and lived near me in assisted living, and she would read it. She was my editor, and she was terrible because she loved everything. she just was, oh, over the moon over everything. But anyway, that was the rhythm that I got into. And so if it's a page a day for a year, and you do a page a day for a year, that's 1 year. If you take 2 days, that's 2 years. So I really sped it up.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I love your story. That is amazing. And I love the whole premise of reading 1 page a day, you know, because it's so manageable. Oh, show us the cover, show us your book. I love it.
It's a very happy book.
It is. I love that. Oh my gosh.
So this is how you grow, little by little.
Oh, I love that.
And we all need to improve a little in, you know, you don't need to be somebody different, but you can be a little bit better at what you do, you know, a little more deliberate, a little more real.
Yeah. And I think like we always need, like I need tools, you know, almost everybody needs tools, you know, and it can become overwhelming, but if you only had 1 page to read a day, you know, that is so manageable. Like your daily dose, you know, I'm like, I really need to read that the beginning of my day because it makes such a big.
So the daily dose comes from this. And so I'll look at tomorrow's date, which I did this morning because I have to start thinking about it. And I forget now what it was, but whatever it is, I start thinking about the image that I'm going to portray, and I get that down. And then tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll lay in bed and write about it and then post it. I post it by 7:15 or so. I noticed the other day, I was talking to you, we had some things happening in our family, and I didn't post the one on one day until about, I think 10 or 11. And I got very few eyes on it because I think people go there, they wake up, they go there to see it. I like to think that anyway.
Yeah.
Not only do we need tools, we need reminders.
Yeah.
There's nothing in here that people haven't heard before. There's no brilliant, you know, ideas. It's just a reminder, a simple reminder.
It's gems of wisdom that, you know, we've carried, but we forget and we drop, you know, and you help us pick them up and you remind us of them.
Even now when I read the page in the morning, you know, so I can pull the words out, I think, oh, I needed that today. Well, that was a good one.
I know, and we're going to talk about that later because I really, was it yesterday's? Yesterday's just stood with me, you know, for a while, and I shared it with like 5 or 8 people, you know, yesterday. I was like, okay, I got to share with you something that I read today.
I love when I get texts during the day that say that one spoke to me this morning, or people post a little thing on there, I needed this today. And I think, oh, see, I made a difference. I did it.
Yeah, you do. Oh my gosh, you so do. Oh my gosh. So talk to us about, okay, so this is how, what book is this? Is this did you say this is your second or third?
This is my third. The first one I wrote in conjunction with a friend. We co-authored it. The second one was The Better Version of You I wrote by myself. And this is my third.
Oh, that's so great. And then tell our audience how they can follow you and find out how to pick up your book.
Okay, if you follow me on Facebook, you can just ask to join. It's a closed group, but if you ask to join, I'll allow you to join. You improved. It's once you're in there, you feel free to post. You can feel free to comment. You can just be there and be quiet about it. However it works for you is fine. I do ask that you invite your friends. I notice when people get in there, if I tell them it's okay to invite your friends, all of a sudden we get more input, a little more energy. The book is available on Amazon. You can either put my name in or you, improved. It's available free on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can download it for free. I do offer it free as often as Amazon allows me to, which is about every 90 days or so. I can have a little 2 or 3 day, and I post that on the Facebook page. You can download the Kindle for free, I will let you know that if you don't have Kindle Unlimited, and it's available in paperback as well.
I love it.
So.
I love it. I'm gonna get one, and then I'm gonna have to send it to you so you can sign it for me.
I'll sign it for you. Yes.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, so talk to me about like your passion for helping others. You must always have felt that way, but it really hit home when you had your cancer story, right?
So I have to think about, I've always been an optimistic person. There were 6 kids in my family. I had an older brother and then me. And all the other kids, I think I thought that I was raising them myself. You know, I thought they were my responsibility or something. I don't know why, the little mother in me or something. So I've always kind of had that nurturing. I don't know if it always shows or not, but I don't know how to describe it. You know, I don't think of myself as anything special, but I do think that I have something to give other people, you know, so quietly I want to do that because everybody needs a little help. Everybody needs somebody.
Yeah.
Especially now. Oh gosh.
I know it is overwhelming, you know, today. But you know, it sounds like you've always had that nurturing, helping others side of you, even, you know, with your siblings, right?
Right. And in real estate and management, I've always been in management, and I want to help people find their footing and find what it is that they do best and then do it. You know, everybody's different, but what works for me isn't going to work for someone else, but I'd like to see them find what works for them. Kind of a trial and error thing.
I love that. I love that. And then are you still mentoring and are you still speaking? Well, speaking is.
Yeah, I was, speaking until the last few months. Yes, I love to speak to an audience. I do, a live audience. Love that.
Oh, that's great.
And that's a great way to sell a lot of books because everybody wants to tell me their story afterwards, and then, you know, we can connect. I am still coaching. I business coach people in my office and also other agents from other companies and across the country. And I mentor still through Immerman Angels. Missing on that. Immerman Angels. That's an organization that has people like myself who are cancer survivors talk to people who have that same type of cancer, so they can tell them what to expect, maybe talk to them about what they're feeling, and kind of be a beacon of hope for them.
Oh,
so whenever they have a match for me, then I'm involved in that.
Yeah. And then if our audience wants to reach out to you for your mentoring and coaching and possibly speaking, how do they reach out to you?
Through my email.
Okay.
Which is my name, Martha Karelius @gmail.com. I have a real estate website. If you put I kind of need to put my name in. How about Facebook? Facebook is a great thing.
Yeah.
And you can send me a private message. That's the easiest. Exactly.
That's how I got you. Yay.
You know, yesterday somebody posted a comment on under my little inspirational message yesterday, and I recognized her name. She was my next door neighbor in the first condo I owned 45 years ago.
Oh my God.
Remember me? She said, of course I remember you. It's like, I love Facebook.
Oh my God.
40 years since I've seen her, or 43 or something.
Oh,
that's something.
That is something, you know. And the other day when I was looking on your page, I noticed this lady's name and I'm like, I know her. And it's just so, you know, because I've worked in politics since 2016. And I'm like, this person, I've run into her in events, you know, and I'm like, it's such a small world that we live in, you know.
Well, my high school class, I mean, I graduated from high school over 50 years ago. And we have a connection on there that just happened in the last few years. At that reunion, when they were reaching out to everybody, they started a page and everyone posts on there, and it's really great. It's a great group of people.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It is. Oh my gosh. So I really want to talk to you about, your 100-day challenge. Talk to us about your 100-day challenge.
100-day challenge. That's not my idea. It's not an original. I came across it. I wish I could give credit to who started it, but we were talking about doing things, little small steps. You know, you can't change your life overnight, but you can certainly make improvements incrementally, a little at a time. So the first one that I did was years ago. I decided I was going to post something inspirational on Facebook for 100 days, just on my personal page. And I got better at it. In the beginning, I was a little bit tentative, and I got better. And when the 100 days was over, a lot of people were saying, well, wait, we need more. And I thought, see, now I'm kind of in the mood for it. That was great. And then with the book, I gave myself the 100-day challenge to finish it. It's something that you do, something simple in any part of your life that you commit to doing every day for 100 days. And by the time it's over, it's so ingrained in you, it's a habit for life. It's, you know, it's like making your bed or brushing your teeth. You wouldn't think of not doing it. So my mother, who I mentioned in her assisted living, she read the book and she said, oh, okay, all right, I'm going to commit to a 100-day challenge. I went in, she had a little pen and paper and she was writing ideas down, and she said, I'm going to write a note card to somebody every day, and I'm going to compliment somebody every day. And I thought, oh my gosh, you're 92 years old and you're challenging yourself. Good for you. And it really, when you do something like that, it makes you want to do the rest of your day right. It makes you, you know, you feel like you've already conquered something.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you find something, keep it simple, because if it takes up, you know, it makes too big of a difference, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that, you know, like all the things that have this common thread of just being manageable changes, you know.
That's me. I'm a baby steps person all the way. I had a tremendous success in real estate. Never considered myself a great salesman. Never was slick. Never had great closings. What I did was I was a worker bee. I did the same things every day. I had systems for everything I did. And it was very simple. When people would talk to me about, you know, I've got 1,000 people in my pipeline, I think, ooh, you know, I'm working with 3 right now, but those 3 are going to buy or sell. And then I'm going to get another one in there. And, you know, I'm not a big, huge numbers person. I'm just chip away consistently. That's me.
I love it. I really, really love it. You know, because then there are changes that you can actually acquire, you know.
Yeah.
There's so many movements on making changes, and sometimes they're not manageable because it's just too overwhelming. But
it's like the yo-yo dieting, you know, when you do something that is too dramatic for your body, then it, you know, it comes back, it bounces back on you, and that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I love like being manageable and being able to make the changes. And I love your idea of your book, you know, reading 1 page a day. I cannot wait for mine to come.
Anyone, even people that don't like to read, can do it.
Oh, and I love to read. I love to read like you.
It's kind of fun if you download it on Kindle version on your phone, because then you have it with you and you can just, you know, a page, 300 words, anytime you feel like it.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. Because then, yeah, exactly. Then you have your Facebook, your daily dose of inspiration.
Coming out your ears. We're oozing inspiration.
I know. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. And so what are you on to next? Tell us about, what are your ideas? Are you working on a book now? Or are you?
You know, I was playing around with one. I couldn't get traction on it. I want to write a book about setting expectations. And I've got tons of notes on it. I just haven't hit that tipping point yet where it takes on a life of its own. But I think that so many of our problems come from not telling people what they can expect in relationships, in business. You know, if you let people think something's going to happen that you know might not be that easy, if you just tell them, you know, setting expectations. What did you expect when you were raising your kids? You know, that there's books about what do you expect when you're expecting, you know, but for everything in life. And that's, if I come up with something, it'll be along those lines. But I have to get it where it's burning fire in me and I can't not do it, you know. I'm not there yet.
I love that, because I think that as an optimist, I tend to have high expectations, you know, which going into different scenarios is going to lead to disappointment most of the time. You know?
Yes.
So I just need to like balance my expectations, you know, of others. I have a high expectation of myself, and I'm fine with that because I know how, like, well, you know, because that's I feel like that's fair to the world to have an expectation of myself, but not so much my high expectations of others, you know, because
well, you can hold yourself to a higher standard. You can't them, but sometimes I wish people wouldn't oversell, you know, overpromise, underdeliver. You know, if you wow them because you told them this is what you're going to do, and then you take it further, that's memorable.
Yeah.
It really is so easy. It's just being mindful of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. I love that. We should have, that's another daily dose right there. Oh my gosh. speaking of daily doses, let's talk about them. I love it. And it's so usually I have a news segment, but today I thought it would be fun inspiration segment. So you know what? Yes, was it yesterday where you had the burnout? Was yesterday the burnout?
Oh yeah, yesterday's. That was funny. That created quite a bit of uh, conversation. It opened conversations for people.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who commented on that one. And I
I
think
think
that,
it's because we're feeling burnout right now. You know, we always thought, gosh, if I could just stay home and I had a couple of days where I didn't have to do anything so that I could get all my projects done at home and get ahead of it. And now we are at home. The
yeah,
fact is we did the projects we wanted to do, and then we tried a few more. And now it's like the things that haven't been completed aren't going to be. They're not that important to us, apparently. And we're chomping at the bit. And this is the hard time. We're feeling burnout now,
yeah,
and we need change.
we do. I know. And you said it yourself. You should say it, but you wrote burnout is a sign that something needs to change, you know?
Yep.
And I really, really like that because, you know, I hadn't even think about burnout that way. I always thought about burnout as a challenge to myself to work harder, you know, but actually in lieu of that, you know, I'm actually doing what I shouldn't be doing because I'm trying too hard, and I should be changing the way I do things rather than trying harder, you know?
Well, I'm right there with you because remember I said everything I talk about now, I did wrong before. You
Yeah.
know, I used to get up at 4 a.m. For years. I was up at 4 a.m. and sending out emails and sending out letters and preparing for the day and running the wash and starting the crock pot and, you know, all those things, getting my walk in, getting myself dressed before the kids got up so that then I could devote my time to them. I did that and I was sleep deprived for years. And I just thought that's just what you had to do. And it isn't. You have to recover. You have to just take a step back or you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
You're going to get cancer or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's what stress does, right?
Exactly. And you'll have all kinds of medical issues, you know, because
Yep.
and it's hard, you know, like as a young mom, it was super hard, you know, and it was just to balance it all. Balancing is hard.
And so what gets left out of the balance is you. Your needs get left out. Everybody else comes first. And, you know, I don't know how to do it. I don't know if I had to do it over again, if I could fix that. So I'm not certainly judging anybody else because, you know, it's a hard thing. When people say, how did you balance it? I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. And I don't know if I could again.
Yeah. I know I didn't do it well, you know, it's hard. It's so hard, you know, and it's true, but you know, you hope like you're doing is you learned, you know, and now you're trying to teach people things that you learned, but not actually that you did, but you're trying to show them, you know, what you learned, and hopefully they won't repeat history, you know.
Right. Well, so think of it in terms of relationships. You know, they're exhausting if they're not right. And so we keep trying to make it right, make it right, make it right. And sometimes you just need a change. If you have friends that, you know, the energy vampires, the ones that every time you talk to them, you get off the phone like you're exhausted.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's time to, you don't have to hurt their feelings or anything, but, you know, distance just a little bit and be around the people that fill you up a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, totally. I know that, you know, like working in schools, you know, and it was hard, you know, and I remember my mom gave me this book and it was talking about like healthy boundaries and unsafe people. I remember it was unsafe people. She's like, you know what, Kristin, you're around people, but you need to be filled with people that are safe, you know, that will build you up, you know, and it's so important to know that, you know, I mean, even with your energy and with, you know, your outlook on life,
Right.
you know, it could be so changed by, you know, people that you're around, you know, and that are in your circles, you know.
A huge difference. Yep. What you put in, what you bring in from outside sources has a huge impact on you.
And I remember going through a season of time when I was by myself, you know, because I just needed to detox and figure out, you know, what was right for my family and my, you know, and relationships in my life, you know, because I was just too out there and I wasn't, and by being busy, you know, I remember in church, I heard that I think Rick Warren said something like he said something like being busy is the devil. If you can't be bad, if the devil can't make you bad, he'll make you busy.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, and because in busyness, we don't have time to reflect, and we don't have time to be proactive about where we are and who we are,
So there's a page in the book about being busy versus being productive.
Oh, I like that.
And so I was very guilty of being busy, and I still have to work on that because I want to fill every minute, and sometimes every minute doesn't need to be filled, just like I used to, because the business I was in, I was always around a lot of people, a lot of socializing, a lot of interacting with people all the time. And then now that I've backed away from it, I'm thinking, besides my family, I only need a few friends, and they're real friends. And I don't need all those other people that I really didn't have much in common with. And, I didn't make a difference in their life. They didn't make a difference in my life. So now I'm pretty jealous of my time.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, and we're happy that you give us a daily dose of inspiration. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm so excited to read about your book, to pick up your book and read a page. I think I'm going to read more than a page a day, but no.
There's no rules involved. You can skip around. You can do whatever you want.
No, I can't skip, but oh my gosh, it was so lovely chatting with you today. I am so inspired.
Well, I enjoyed it, and I'm so appreciative that you had me on. Thank you, Kristin.
Oh, thank you so much. And are there any closing remarks that you want to give to our audience?
The only thing I would say is right now, since everybody's been kind of staying home and alone, and everybody's got a different situation, if we all made it a point to reach out to a couple people every day, just with a phone call, a voice, be the bright spot in their day, because the days are long. You might be a mom at home trying to keep kids happy, underfoot all day long. I can't imagine what that would be like. Yeah. You might be alone in your home. I can't imagine what that would be like. And so, I know it's gotten long, and I'm hoping it's not much longer. But while it lasts, if everybody reaches out to just a few people every day to connect, I think that would make a huge difference.
Oh, I love that. I really, really love that.
And then invite them to join my page on Facebook.
Right, that's right. Yes.
Community of positive thinking people. It's a very, very nice community.
It is. And it's just you're right. You give us our wings to fly, and just give us a little boost in the morning, which is fabulous. I love it. I really love it.
Well, thank you, Kristin.
And we will have on the end of our show, we'll have I'll have a graphic of how people can follow you.
Okay.
And thank you so much for being here today. I can't wait.
My pleasure.
I really can't wait for you to come again after you write your book about expectations, because I
better get a timeline going.
Well, if you're working on it, or when you return to the spokesperson, going back into speaking.
I'll get busy now.
No. Well, I'll keep you busy. You can come back and have a.
Wait a minute. No, productive.
Productive. Oh, that's right. That's good. I like that. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you. And we can't wait to have you again on our show. And everybody go to Amazon and find the book. Let's see the cover again. You Improved. And let's put the comma in. Yes. Or just put my name in. And pick up the book, and you can also get it on Kindle. And check out our Facebook page. You Improved, a daily dose of inspiration. You'll love it. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm like, did I read it today? I think I'm going to read it again. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Martha, for coming. I really enjoyed it. And thank you all for joining us today. We hope that you were inspired and that you'll share this story with your friends and family, and have a daily dose of inspiration. We love you, and we can't wait to see you again. Thank you, Martha. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.